the American Dream theory. This is something that we've often heard about growing up in, when your parents will tell you, go to school, get your education so you can, do well with your life, so you can accomplish, bigger things. So many of us have, gone to college and we put our children through college or whatever the case may be, just to find out that the American dream, for some, may be overseas. So let's dive right on into it. For some, the American dream lies overseas. The big picture, as recent polling suggests, a dwindling sense of confidence in the American dream. Some U.S. citizens are flocking to foreign countries in search of more affordability and flexibility than they experienced in the United States. So we know that our white counterparts, they they get paid more than, black people. They get paid, I believe, 5 times more, and the wage gap keeps increasing. So it doesn't matter how much they try to downplay and say, well, you get yours how we get ours. That's not the truth. And people are really sick and tired of it. I understand. Catch up quick. Recent surveys have uncovered concerns about the American dream declining or even already being extinguished. Only 36 of the respondents said the American dream defined in this case that if you work hard, you'll get ahead. Still held true per a WSJ NORC poll from October. That's a steep drop from previous polling. Meanwhile, younger Americans are struggling. A lot of our young people are struggling. Why are the parents richer than the children today? So, if you're 27 on down, Gen Z, I believe that's what that is. You're gonna struggle. You're gonna struggle because America's not going in the direction that we all thought it was. So it's really time for us to stop trying to compete with each other, for real, because we're not going anywhere. We're getting in a hurry to go nowhere fast, if you will. At the same time, opportunities presented by remote work and expat lifestyles reflected in social media posts have led some Americans to consider life overseas. Meanwhile, like I was saying, younger Americans are struggling to get on the housing ladder, and Americans of all ages are increasingly pessimistic about the opportunities that will be available to the next generation, as one recent NBC poll found. So many of you don't know, they have started smart cities. This is very, very, very important. This is very important. They have started smart cities. There will be no vehicles. There will be no garages on the houses. Everything that you will need will be in close proximity. You will be able to walk to these places. So please hear me. If you don't hear anything I say, it's going into a state of control. Now, I don't know what YouTube plan on doing with this video. Share it, like it, so it can spread to other people before they take it down. But America is going into a state of control. A lot of people are going to church. They're keeping you delusional because there's no reason why they can't tell you of what's going on now. There's no reason why they can't tell you of the things that are going on now. You mean to tell me that God has all these prophets and nobody can tell you what's coming? You have all these prophets. He said he will pour out his spirit on his sons and his daughters. Yes. So why aren't people, people are recording the foolishness that's going on in the church. And God, he will judge. He will judge diligently. I didn't come on here to preach. I'm just letting you know. Since 2020, there has been a rise of the digital nomad visa per the Europe-based law firm Lexity. Dozens of countries now offer a visa, pathway, enabling remote workers to legally reside in the host country for a year plus under certain conditions, according to Lexity. Across social media sites, including TikTok, some Americans are documenting their new lives outside of the U.S. while expressing shifting attitudes about the American dream. J.P. Stonestreet and Amelia Bisisto, two married American expats who left Colorado to move to Ecuador in 2017, now run a business for helping people to live abroad and earn online income. The only thing with the online income is how long do we expect for this internet to stay up? How long do we expect the grid to stay up? Because now, they're messing with people's phones. So how long? How long will people be able to live this lavishing life overseas working on their on the internet? And I'm not speaking this to bring doom and gloom, but this is something that we must talk about. What they're saying, we grew up in a country of opportunity for everybody. If you were smart and worked hard, you could achieve the American dream. And that is not the case anymore, Stonestreet says. It just takes one unforeseen incident to completely change that and take the dream away from you, says Stonestreet, who cited high living costs in the U.S. as a major part of the couple's decisions to leave. Stonestreet and Basista said they have seen a large increase in the number of people both thinking about and making the decision to move. Have you thought about trying to move? It costs relatively $2,300 to denounce your citizenship here in the United States, as to where it used to be approximately $400. Also, dealing with the $2,300 to leave, there's a lengthy time, for them to make the decision. They have to investigate. What you investigate? As long as you're not a felon, it shouldn't be too much to investigate. But America do the most in everything. Though the two became mirrored in medical, student loan, and credit card debt prior to leaving the United States, the pair is now debt free since moving to Ecuador. Ecuador. I done gave people a new name. The country. Both in their 30s. Stop laughing at me. My son is laughing at me. Both in their 50s. The two said they are aging in reverse, which they mostly attribute to reduced stress from living outside the toxic hamster wheel they refer to as the United States. So we see everything that's going on. I'm going to kind of get off board a little bit. Get your children together in prayer. Get your children together in prayer. This is something that God obligates for us to do as a people. We have to get our children together because there are 10 million migrants here in the United States. And if you have your eyes focused on what America is doing for them with the millions, I know that it's frustrating, it's irritating, it brings a lot of anguish to a lot of people. But God told us in Hebrews, this world is not our home. Let's take a look. Hebrew 13:14-16. For this world is not our home. We are looking forward to our everlasting home in heaven. With Jesus' help, we will continually offer our sacrifice of praise to God by telling others of the glory of his name. Don't forget to do good and to share what you have with those in need, for such sacrifices are very pleasing to him. This world is not your home. Don't, one of the things my husband wanted to do, he wanted us, to get this amazing home. He wanted to, use his VA and get this home. And I was like, no. I was like, it was too much that God was downloading in my spirit. And I was like, they're going to start coming and, confiscating things that you think you own. You heard it here. You think you own it, and you don't. You have the access to using it, but you don't. You don't have the equity of it at all. Everything is a lie. Everything is a lie. So back to the American dream. As of 2020, the State Department estimated that 9 million U.S. citizens lived in overseas, but according to a department spokesperson, the agency no longer provides these estimates. U.S. citizens are not required to register their travel with the department and the spokesperson. The agency does not want to provide potentially inaccurate figures. Reality check. It remains the case that many more people are seeking to move to the U.S. than away from it. But for younger generations of Americans, the world beyond the U.S. has grown more easily accessible and perhaps more appealing. Americans think the American dream is dying. So we have been out here ultimately in competition. Some people have been in competition. I've never been in competition. I've never tried to act like I had more than I had. I have, been depending on God for a long time, and sometimes I wasn't, depending on the Lord. But you know how that go. Anyway, please, please keep in mind that they are moving to smart cities. They're moving to smart cities. As a matter of fact, it's happening now. And it is actually I want to say in Arizona right now. So this is an article. This is an article that I want to kind of highlight. I'm sorry about that. Would you give me that, honey? Excuse me, guys. Thank you. Plug it up for me. Go ahead. Thank you. Excuse me, guys. Abstracting figures. The article is a single source introduction to the emerging concept of the smart cities. It can be used for familiarizing researchers with the vast scope of research possible in the application domain. The smart city is primarily a concept that there is still not a clear and consistent definition among practitioners and academia. A smart city is a place where traditional networks and services are made more flexible, efficient, and sustainable with the use of information, digital, and telecommunication technologies to improve the city's operations for the benefit of its inhabitants. First of all, they're going to tell you everything that you want to hear. They're going to make it sound so good, so juicy. It's all about control. It's all about control. So everything that we have, grown into in this country, being able to go here, go there, is coming down. And I'm not here to implement any type of fear on anyone. This is why I'm saying, get a relationship with the Lord. Don't look at what's going on. Don't look at what's going on. We walk by faith and not by sight. Because if you're watching everything that's going on, you're going to lose your mind. This is why a lot of people stop watching the news, because they were implementing fear. Every time you turn on the news, it was always something doom and gloom. I'm not here to bring doom and gloom. I'm here to, allow my people to know what's going on. This is already implemented in Arizona. Look on YouTube. Take a look. Take a look. See, we're being entertained by Monique, Cat Williams. These people, one, they're too old. And two, they're old news. Okay? They're too old and they're old news. We have enough stuff going on in our personal lives to sit down and think about and listen to. And I'm guilty. I am guilty. I have sat there and listened to Cat Williams, go on and on and on, and I had to repent, and it just got to the point where I was like, what's the point in watching television when this is all they have to offer? They're not going to tell you anything that's going to enable you. They're not going to tell you the things that you need to do. Two things about America. Two things about America. They're going to entertain you and give you bad food. That's the certainty of it. America's gonna feed you, serve you bad food. I was about to say feed you bad food. Serve you bad food and entertain you. Smart cities are greener, safer, faster, and friendlier. Do you hear this? The different components of a smart city include infrastructure, smart transportation, smart energy, smart health care, and smart technology. These components are what make the city smart and efficient. Information and communication technology, ICT, are enabling keys for transforming traditional cities into smart cities. You won't need a car. Oh, I forgot to put that in there. No cars are needed. Everywhere you need to go is in close proximity of where you'll be living. So you just have to ride your bike or walk. So that means where it's going is if you have family out of town, may not be good. It may not be good. So if you have family, you guys might want to, pray about this situation. Like I said, I'm not here to bring doom or gloom. I'm just here preparing you because you guys are flicking through the videos, looking for something to laugh at, something to make you feel good. And I know this is not like the most popular topics that you want to listen to, but please, I don't want you to go into a state of fear. I don't want you to go into a state of depression. We see what's going on across the world, even in this country. It's bad. It's really, really bad. And it's heartbreaking to see people dealing with mental illness. But to stay away from that stuff, you have to give time to God. We give so much time to social media, which they have people that are keeping you connected. So you can't even focus on the people in your home. People in their homes are not even talking anymore because they're, desensitized. Social media has made people desensitized. It really have. The technology has matured to enough to allow smart cities to emerge. However, there is much needed in terms of physical infrastructure. A smart city, the digital technologies translate into better public services for inhabitants and better use of resources while reducing environmental impacts. One of the formal definitions of the smart city is the following: a city connecting the physical infrastructure, the information technology infrastructure, the infrastructure, and the business infrastructure to leverage the collective intelligence of the city. Another formal and comprehensive definition and communication technologies and other means to improve quality of life, in efficiency of urban operations and services, and competitiveness, while ensuring that it meets the needs of present and future generations with the respect to economic, social, and environmental aspects. Okay, so this is what we need to talk about the kids. We might not be here tomorrow to go through this. Things are changing. Things are changing. Elon Musk put the Neuralink into people's brains. Come on, this is not normal. And AI, they are demons. That's a whole nother story. You're not ready for that. It's biblical. But fallen angels fell from heaven after God kicked Satan out. 200 fallen angels fell out with him. They had sex with the women on the earth, the women, and they had hybrids. So Hercules, Jack and Beanstalk, yes, real, true story. So why aren't the churches talking about this? Because they are not allowed to. They're not allowed to. They're to keep you delusional. They're helping the government keep you delusional. Abroad, overview of various components needed in a smart city is depicted in figure 1. Any combination, oh, that's just a picture that they have down below, but you're going to have your bank, you're going to have your hospital. Everything you need is just going to be in walking distance. Everything you need is going to be in walking distance. You're not going to be allowed to have a car. Haven't you seen how expensive the cars are? Even a 98, they want like $3,000. I called a dealership trying to get a vehicle for my son. I was like, I'm not paying $3,000 for a 98. Are you kidding? Yeah. Or was it a, yeah, it was a 98. So please share this video. I was very nervous, so I apologize for any discrepancies. And look, just pray. Pray. Pray and stay before the Father. This world is not our home. We're just passing through. Get your life together with Christ. Don't watch so much news. Stay away from too much entertainment. Get a prayer life. Get a prayer life. Get in your word. That Bible is about you. The Bible is about you. You can't talk about the Bible if you're not talking about Black history. It's our history, guys. This is why they're trying to keep us under Deuteronomy 28:15, under the curse. That's why they keep sending Sexy Red and Sakani, whatever her name is. They are trying to keep us under the curse. And the devil is a liar. We're coming out. We're coming out. So, thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day.